Hi everyone, I welcome you all to this question answer session. It has been a great privilege for me for a pretty long time answering the questions of people and in the process developing a kind of awareness for myself and building that awareness in the lives of many people. It's indeed an exciting journey, something which makes me feel good that I'm also doing something sensible. I'm also doing something worthy in my life. Because when I could develop an ability to answer the questions of people, I really got clarity on many things in life. And that has given me a kind of confidence and courage, which really helped me in transforming my life to a greater extent. I don't know whether I brought that transformation, but I tried my best in order to get that thing happen. Cool. So let's start the question answer session. Before I just have a small idea to share. So when I went through this knowledge, reading a lot of books, listening to a lot of presentations, exploring a lot of content, I experienced one thing which, or I learned one thing which I really wanted to apply in my real life and start experiencing it. One of the challenges I faced in the process was thinking in a positive manner in every kind of situation. So when things are going good in our life or things are going the way we want to go, then everyone thinks positively. But when things are going in a manner which we never want it to happen, and when things are going the way opposite to the way we want them to happen, it's indeed very tough in order to think positively in life. It's quite challenging, it isn't so easy because our mind's capacity to think goes consistently and the mind starts thinking about it, okay, without having a control by us. It isn't so easy in order to think in a comfortable situation, make our mind think positively in any kind of critical situation. If that can happen, I think it's wonderful. Of course, if we are not able to think positively, we may have a question mark, okay, what is going to happen in our life? It's all a simple logic. If you are not able to think positively, then we are not going to create a positive future. Because what we think, that is what we are going to create in future. Everything happens twice in life. First in the mind, then in reality. So if you are not able to think properly in the mind, then we cannot create the same thing in reality in a great way. So ultimately we need to focus on thinking greatly in order to create that greatly in future. But when everything is going fine, okay, thinking in a positive manner is fantastic. But life is designed in such a manner that most of the times we will be encountering some kind of challenges or the other. Every time you have a challenging situation, every time you have a critical time, automatically a kind of we will be undergoing a kind of negative thought process in the mind. It's not so easy to handle it. I've been trying for a pretty long time to just think positively in even the most negative circumstances or negative situations. Though it's challenging, it's not so easy. I to know it, okay. Uh, it's really tough for me to do it. But ultimately, I realize that if I can think positively alone, I can create a positive life out of myself. And if I'm not able to create a positive life out of myself, okay, then it is going to be a mess. So what I've thought in my past created my today. And what I'm thinking today is going to create my future. If I'm not able to think comfortably in my past, if I'm not able to think comfortably in my past, if I was not in a position to think comfortably in my past, probably my today is not going to be fantastic. And if I'm not able to think comfortably enough, I'm not in a position to create my future greatly. So probably when we are a child, when we are not matured enough, uh, when everything does not go in our way, most of the times our mind must have thought in a negative sense. I don't ever think that it is possible for a child to get the maturity where he understands that his thinking is going to create his future. So whatever the circumstance that is happening in his life, okay, he has to somehow go with a positive thought process. It may not be an easy thing, but I don't know how this universe works, and most of the intellectual people on this earth says that, and I too believe that. Okay, that is what I need to accept in my life, and that's what I have to go with. So it's an outcome of two simple things. Okay, whatever we think, it's going to happen in future, and I could experience this in my life lately because almost every thought what I've thought in my past, okay, has become a reality for me today. So one exercise which is not so easy but very tough for most of the people in order to develop is this. Whatever may be the circumstance you're in, somehow you have to think positively. And that's the reason why probably it is said that attitude matters 85 to 88% in creating a person's success. Until and unless a person is not fantastic in his attitude, he cannot create success. And most of the people are not able to create their lives greatly just because they're not strong in their attitude. If life is going in a manner where everything is going the way we want it, and everything is according to our choices, then it's fantastic. Because we automatically think fantastically. If not, I suggest all of you to take care of your thinking in the toughest times. So ultimately, what I can say is we have to become so conscious in life that our attitude, our thinking process must be consistently on one particular thing, and that is this. Okay, what is our mind thinking? How is it thinking? So if it is thinking positively in every particular situation, it's okay. And we have something called as memory, and we are also having imagination. So whatever that has pained us in the past, whatever that has created pain for us in the past, and that will be registered in our mind, and that will create a lot of pain within us. And that pain, as it is in the memory, will influence our present thinking. And it's not so easy to think positively in critical times because our mind will have a flood of thoughts. So that too in a critical time, it will have a flood of all negative thoughts. So it's challenging, but I don't know, like by consistent practice, with a complete conscious focus, we may achieve it someday, I suppose. And the second lesson, what I've learned most from most of the presentations, most of the books is this. Life is inside out. If everything on the inside is good, everything on the outside will be good. But not to keep everything good on the inside, not to put every minute comfortably on the inside. It's not so easy. It's quite challenging because I've been experiencing this in my lifetime again. So when I'm backed up by negative thoughts, when I'm in a kind of pressure about something, when I'm not able to handle certain challenges in my life, in such situations, in such conditions, I cannot maintain internal balance positively. When I'm not able to maintain internal balance, I know that something negative is going to happen. Probably initially, whenever I had a negative feeling within me, immediately some negative situation used to burst out, erupt out. But these days I've been experiencing that. So I balance my negative situation, negative feeling very soon and try to come out of it. But the minimum time I spend in that negative thought process, probably 10 minutes or 20 minutes, is going to create definitely a negative disturbance in my life in future. So even for me to maintain that inner feeling, okay, in a positive manner always, it's not so easy. It's pretty difficult. And generally, in a situation wherein everything is not going our way, when things are going opposite to us, okay, it's indeed still difficult. But I think even this has to be practiced. And ultimately, the only answer for this is also is being conscious. Until and unless we are not seriously conscious, focusing on our thoughts, how our mind is thinking, and focusing on our feelings, what kind of feeling we have internally. So we can't put an enthusiastic feeling always, excited, celebrating feeling always. If Taurus can put it, it's fantastic. Because we are going to attract all kind of positive circumstances in life. So the biggest challenge all of us have is this. We need to take care of our thoughts greatly, and we need to keep our feelings fantastically. If you can do that, it's a celebration. And I hope all of you will try doing it. So let me just get into my questions. First, let me start with a question asked by Chinmaya. How to make our body fit? I'm not more concerned about how to make your body fit. Eat healthy, think positive, then automatically you'll be fit. Of course, it needs a kind of exercise or consistent exercise. You have to create a good stress or strain on your body. So it's like when you practice your yoga or something like that, you can slow down your heartbeat. Or doing a rigorous exercise, you can increase the heartbeat of yourself. Sweat profusely. Do some kind of exercise in such a manner that okay, your body undergoes a lot of stretching and pulling, so that you'll be comfortable. Good exercise, good food, good thoughts. So we can maintain these three things comfortably. Okay, automatically I can say that you can have a good body. And then if you can take off all the negative qualities within you, then you will not have a scope for thinking negatively. When you do not have a scope for thinking negatively, automatically you will be positive always. Your feeling will be positive always. That's going to put you on a fantastic angle, okay? So to keep your body fit, most of the people they think exercise is something which they need only when they are fat, obese, with excess weight. Otherwise, they don't need it. It's not like that, okay? So we need to consistently work, do a lot of physical exercise every day. When we do a lot of physical exercise every day, we can put ourselves in our body in correct shape. Okay. So exercise, take care of our diet. Mostly, it should be like raw vegetables, fruits. We can have some stuff, okay, but in limited quantities. And we need to eat according to our hunger. And most of all, we should be very cautious about taking care of the mind, where we put only positive thoughts in our mind. We expose only to positive content. We communicate, we listen, we see, we speak only positive things. When we put ourselves into a positive zone, wherein our mind listens to only positive things, speaks of only positive things, and communicates only positive things, I think it's going to be a fantastic journey, Chinmaya. So keep going, okay? I think physical exercise, good food, and good thoughts to your mind. Just see that your mind is a garden, and as you don't allow even one waste plant to grow in the mind, okay? Don't allow even one negative thought to enter into your mind. Then automatically you can have a sound body, okay, and a good life even. Chinmay, okay, thank you. Ramna, thank you so much for your question. How to stop hurt feelings? I think, okay, hurt feelings come when some mistake happens in life. But we need to understand that there is no perfect human being. No human being is born perfect on this earth. Every human being learns only by doing mistakes. There may be some intellectuals who go through knowledge, update their knowledge, gain clarity on it, understand what is going to be the consequence of it clearly. They have that clear-cut understanding of the subject. So they will foresee what kind of problems they are going to get in future, if they do certain things like that. And the people with that much of maturity can safeguard themselves, okay, from any mistake happening in life. But most of the times it's not possible for us to lead a life wherein we are perfect in everything. But of course, there are certain things, okay, which we need to take care of, but certain times emotions rule our life. Hormones rule our life. Hormones and emotions drive us to do some mistakes in life. It's okay, there is nothing wrong in doing mistakes. And everyone will be under the perception that when they do a mistake, they think that they are only bad people on this earth. They are only doing mistakes. It's like everyone will be doing mistakes in life. Even Jesus said that, call me not perfect, only the God in heaven is perfect. So I don't think that there will be a human being who is 100% perfect in life, who has done everything perfectly. I don't think it's possible, okay? So anyone can do mistakes, but the mistakes will develop a guilt feeling in you, a lot of suffering in you, a very painful experience. And once you experience that painful outcome in life, now you need to learn a lesson that that should not be repeated again in life. Doing a mistake once, it's not a big challenge, okay, but repeating the same mistake for 3-4 times, okay, is a sin. So don't feel bad thinking that, okay, you have done something negative which is going to hurt you, because everyone does mistakes. You cannot experience anyone without doing mistakes. See, the whole world pursues things negatively. Just because their mind is thinking in a negative sense, they blame others, they torture others. They don't even realize that it's because of their thinking they are, okay, emoting themselves out and expressing a negative emotion. They just think that the other person is creating that trouble within them. Because whatever the external things are happening, see, just if you close our eyes, the world gets vanished. Nothing we experience outside, everything we experience inside. Let anything happen in the external world, okay? But the experience of it is within. However, mind thinks about what is happening in the external world, okay? That is the experience of our life. So let anyone behave in any manner in the external world. But what you think in your mind, that's going to create a positive or negative experience within you. So everyone must somehow learn to think in a great manner and put themselves in a positive zone. But most of the people don't understand that it is because of their thinking they are suffering, but they think that it is because of the other person they are suffering, and they torture everyone around them. They want to change their nature, they want to change their character, they want to bring some transformation within them. They think that if everyone around them are changing, life is going to be fantastic. I don't think that that's really going to happen. Okay, so most of the people in their behavior, in their notions, they'll be shouting, they'll be beating, they'll be doing a lot of things with people. They'll be pointing out. There are even people who are deciding to kill the other person. Okay, torture someone, irritate someone, do a lot of trouble to the others. It's just because their mind is thinking in a negative manner. What can be a bigger mistake than this? So people, when they turn selfish because of fear and negative thought process within them, they cause a lot of problem for the people around them, for the situations and organizations or conditions. But they don't understand that they are creating trouble. A person who's in trouble never realizes that he is the root cause of trouble for most of the people around them. If I did not learn to be happy and peaceful in my life, I cannot put happy and peaceful situations around me. I hope you understand this. So most of the people are immature and they'll be doing mistakes in their life. Doing a mistake is not a problem. But once you do a mistake, you suffer the guilty feeling or you will be suffering pain in your life. Every time you suffer pain in your life, immediately you need to understand that there's something what I don't know. See, every time you experience pain, every time you suffer in your life, it is just because there is something what you don't know. So once you don't know something in life, okay, immediately you must work on doing it. You must work on building that knowledge within you so that you will not repeat that mistake in your life. But the biggest challenge for most of the people is this. So they do mistakes, but they don't learn from their mistakes. And the pain consistently continues. The suffering consistently continues. Pain and suffering will disappoint their life to a greater extent, which may not be a right choice. So you don't need to feel hurt, okay, for the happenings of the past. They do happen. You don't need to worry about it. But you have to learn the lessons and you have to rectify yourself and put yourself in a zone where the mistake does not get repeated. That's it. In certain situations, mind will be hijacked to an extent where you don't come to know the reality. But by the time you realize the reality, you're a long way, okay. Already have done a lot of things, a lot of damage for your life and many others' life. Okay. But keep observing. Every time you experience suffer or every time you experience pain in your life, okay, you need to understand that there is something that I don't know. And you need to master it. You need to explore it. You need to realize what you don't know. And once you learn it, okay, you're going to make a difference in your life. And Pyari, good evening. Thanks a lot for your question. How to purify ourselves, okay. I don't think there are hundreds of things, okay, in order to bring purification within us. But purification is all something like this. Probably you need to purify your body and you need to purify your mind. So mind, if it has to be pure, it has to be with good thoughts. So you need to act like a gardener where no negative thought enters into your mind. So people communicate a lot of things. There will be a lot of situations when you have to see certain things. You'll have to listen certain things. But you need to analyze, okay, that situation into a positive contributor. So it's like when I see some people, behaving in a negative manner, I understand that they're not behaving negatively because they want to behave like that, but it is their mind who is thinking like that and making them to behave like that. It is just because of their thinking they are behaving like that. So when I understood this, okay, I could forgive everyone. I could understand the situation of everyone, and I could have that relation continued without any disturbances. So once we know that the behavior and communication of every person is an outcome of his thinking, then we'll be in a comfortable position. The same is the situation with us also. Every time our behavior and communication is not good, we are polluted by negative thoughts. But we cannot expect the whole world to have the maturity to understand and behave comfortably with us. But at least after exhibiting a negative quality, negative behavior, and negative communication, we need to think, we need to be conscious, we need to realize that it is because of the negative thinking that is there in our mind. We have just come out with this. Okay, so our actions will be indicating us what kind of thoughts you have in mind. If these actions are negative, then automatically you have to change the thoughts in your mind. And the other thing is, every time you listen to a negative thought process, have an analysis over it. You cannot stop in this world from people who say some negative content, or you cannot avoid yourself, okay, seeing something negative that's happening in front of you. But you can slowly start analyzing, okay, and changing the strategies, okay. See, for example, you are in some financial crisis, you gave some money to someone, they're not returning that money for you, you're struggling in the process. So you will be thinking of different statistics. Why don't the other person understand? Okay, why don't they know the pain of me at all? They'll never know the pain of you because you are undergoing the pain. They are not undergoing the pain because they are in a comfort zone because they've got some money from you, and they are in a positive zone because their work got completed. But you are the one who is suffering right now. So they will not understand your situations. But in this kind of situations, if you think that, okay, the other person is not understanding you and start suffering, it's a mess. So purifying yourself is all about first taking care of your thoughts, making your mind to expose to great and wonderful thoughts, wherein you give all your time for listening to something positive, reading something positive, thinking about something positive, experiencing positive situations in our life. So make your mind pure. When your mind is pure, automatically your thoughts are pure. When your thoughts are pure, your attitude is pure, your thinking. And once your attitude is pure, okay, automatically your behavior and communication is pure. So automatically when your behavior and communication is pure, then you are pure. Your emotions are pure. You have balance in your life. And your purification comes from the other side, where you must have developed some kind of negative thoughts, like you must have seen some negative qualities in others and you started overlooking them. And in the process, you develop selfishness, jealousy, greed, and all. So, with negative emotions like selfishness, with negative emotions of envy and jealousy, we cannot be a pure personality because our mind cannot think in a positive manner. And with ego within us, where we start thinking that, okay, we are great. In the process, we want everyone to treat us great. And in the process, we want to win in every situation, which is an absolute impossibility. This creates a lot of problems within us. So we have to destroy our ego. We have to go with an attitude that, okay, without the support of everyone, see, probably, did I grow myself in my life? Whatever the body I've grown today, whatever food I'm eating today, I may have an arrogant thought process that, okay, I paid money and got it, okay, but frankly saying, the money what you are paying for the food what you are getting, it never gets balanced, okay. A farmer sacrifices his life from morning to night. He struggles and suffers and produces some kind of food, and you pay very less price for it. If he really has to charge you something, and that is never possible for you to pay and buy it. For the hard work, what a farmer does, okay. So if at all, if really people have to pay for it, I don't think that you will ever get a kilogram of rice for 50 rupees. That must be at least 500 rupees or 5,000 rupees. So if that is the price what you have to afford for it, okay, then think, okay, is it possible for you to eat the stuff? It's never possible. The same thing is with education also. So people teach you everything. They provide you a lot of service. And in the process, okay, the money what we pay for education is very less. But education is considered to be an orientation of service, and people are providing that education at a very less price. So what we are today is with the help of everyone. Someone gave us food, someone gave us education, someone took care of our health. Today you are able to sleep comfortably at home because there are many people from police department, okay, just keeping themselves awake and doing a duty, and because of that, okay, they are not giving scope for any kind of robbery or theft happening in your neighborhood or house. Just imagine if all the police department leaves this place, if all the doctor community leave this place, if all the businessmen, sellers, cleaners, sweepers, okay, municipal workers, all these people together are making your life comfortable and pleasant. We are not an independent greatness. So we can never have ego within us and think in any manner that we are greater than someone on this earth. If we get the thought process that we are greater than someone on this earth, okay, that will be the most senseless thing what we have. See, even Mahatma Gandhi was the father of the nation. He even cleaned the toilet, okay. He never felt that I am the father of the nation, I am the greatest one. He never had a discrimination between a worker and a owner, okay. So he was trying to do his best what he can. He never wanted to treat others like, see, when the white people treated black as slaves, where they insisted the black people to do all the works what they wanted them to do, we said that, okay, that is slavery. And what is a manager trying to control the team and getting all the work from them, dictating and ordering? Is it not slavery? It is even slavery, and that's an outcome of ego, what a person experiences in life. So one thing we need to understand carefully is this, Pyari, okay? We should not have ego within us. We should not be selfish. We should not be jealous. We should not have fear, doubt. Fear, so it's like faith and fear are the same. Faith is a positive emotion and fear is a negative emotion. So when we are growing negative emotion within us, that is fear, okay? We are destroying our life. So we should not have doubt within us. We should not have fear within us. So even when we have fear and doubt within us, we cannot be a pure person. We cannot behave purely and we cannot communicate purely in life. So you have to pick up every negative quality that is there within you, understand that negative quality, and slowly take off that negative quality, imbibe yourself with positive qualities, and make yourself as a positive person. The more and more purified you are, okay, the more and more celebration comes into your life. The more and more peace you experience, the more and more joy you experience in your life. And your journey of purification has started. So take one concept at a time, okay? Let's take selfishness. Study about it. Try to take off that selfishness to the greatest extent you can. So take jealousy out, take envy out, take ego out, take arrogance out. Like this, when you start taking out one quality after the other within you, then everything great is going to happen in your life. I hope you understand this. Thank you. Thank you so much, Pyari, for this. And I have a question from Vijay. I think it's the first time you're asking this question. Thank you so much, Vijay, okay, for your question. How to practice positive thinking, sir? Great question, Vijay. We need to be conscious first, okay? First, we need to track down how our mind is thinking. So, if our mind is thinking, if we don't know how your mind is thinking, think about this. If you're having a good experience of life, then your mind is thinking in a positive angle. If you're having a bad experience of life, then your mind is not thinking positively. That's it. So if you're not in a position to observe your thinking, okay, if you're not so conscious wherein you can track your thinking. See, it's simple. Try to understand this. Your mind has memory and imagination and the thinking ability. So, three features of your mind: memory, imagination, and thinking. Your mind can think. Okay. So, how does your mind think? It thinks with memory. If you are not having memory in your mind, okay, you can never think about it. Suppose if I ask you to think about Uttanashia, you cannot think about it until and unless you have a memory of Uttanashia. So probably now you will go search a dictionary or ask Google and get the meaning of euthanasia. And once you come to know that euthanasia is capital punishment or hanging a person to death, then your mind can think about it. Otherwise, your mind can never think about it. So memory is the key for your mind to think. So if you are able to take care of your memory at the primary level, where you see only good in everything. See, one simple thing I'll tell you. There are a lot of good qualities and bad qualities within you. But you want everyone to look into only good qualities within you. Okay. In a similar manner, everyone is a blend of positive and negative qualities, good and bad qualities. But we have the right to only look into good qualities in others. We should look into only good qualities in others. When we are in the habit of looking into only good qualities in others, then our memory is positive about everyone, every situation. So if not, if I ask you, Vijaya, to just list out, okay, all the positive thoughts you have about people. So take one by one. So you may have different thoughts about every person in your mind. Let's say you have 100 incidents in your memory, and out of the 100 incidents, okay, 100 thoughts you have. Every incident is lodged in a thought. So if at all, if you have to differentiate it as positive memory and negative memory, just observe, okay, what would be more? Will it be positive memory or negative memory? Just imagine there is no negative memory at all. Not even one incident is considered as negative. You have taken everything on a positive drive. Okay? You've put only positive content in your mind. Then automatically your mind thinks positively. When your mind thinks positively, then you communicate and behave positively, and that's going to be awesome. So now, try to understand this, Vijaya. Every time you are with people whom you love most, wherein you have only positive memory about them, you don't have any negative memory, you're always lovable, you are very pleasant, your mind thinks very comfortably, you speak greatly, you communicate greatly with them. But all the problem comes with you is the people whom you hate in many situations. So you hate a person because you've got a negative thought process. You looked into the negative thought process of others. So you should not look into the negative thought process of others. You should not observe the negatives in others. See, even the most beautiful flower on this earth, rose, has some thorns underneath. So if you look at the thorns, you can never experience rose. So even the beautiful lotus flower. So I just happened to visit a small pond yesterday, and I could see some colorful lotuses there. I was just looking at them for a pretty long time because they were so beautiful. Okay, the most beautiful lotus comes out of water, but the water that where the lotus grows, it will be mostly dirty. But the lotus does not exhibit any kind of dirt in the glory of its flower. So it's beautiful. It's elegantly beautiful. So though the entire substratum is dirty, it exhibits that greatness. So we should also be like that. Okay. However, the other person is, we have the right to look into only positive qualities in others. So having a perception wherein we look into the negative qualities in others, okay, will make us hate someone. When we hate someone, automatically our thought process changes to negative, and in that process we struggle. See, if someone looks into your negative qualities and they start hating you, okay, they also start irritating you. So when you don't want others to look into your negative qualities, you also should not look into negative qualities. We need to understand that every human being is just like a gold mine, a combination of gold and dirt. So dirt will be maximum, gold will be minimum, and that's how your human being will be. Don't expect a human being to be on the reverse side, okay? Like minimum gold, minimum negatives, and maximum dirt, okay, and maximum positive qualities. It doesn't happen like that. There will be a very few positive qualities in people, and some of you have to track down that positive qualities. We always have to look into that positive qualities and put ourselves into our mind only positive thought process. Then, from the surface level, you're looking into only positive qualities in people. So your memory is positive. When your memory is positive, your imagination and thinking is positive. When these two things are positive, your experience of life is positive. This is one thing. Second thing is, let us say that you're not able to track down, you're not able to focus on the positive things in people, you're not able to look into the positive things in people, you're not able to be conscious about your thinking, you're not knowing anything about it. Okay, you're not having a perception to look into the positive qualities of people. In such case, what you need to do is, at least when you exhibit a kind of negative emotion, when you become angry, when you become irritated, when you become disturbed, disappointed, worried, frustrated, in such situations, you need to go back and understand that you have planted a negative thought in your mind. When you understand that you have planted a negative thought in your mind, because of that negative thought, you are exhibiting a negative emotion today. And if you start taking off that negative thought, experiencing it into a positive thought, then everything is good. See, it's like you found a bad plant in the soil. You can't just go before the soil plant and say that you are bad, okay? You just leave this place. I want a good plant to grow in this place. It doesn't happen like that. You have to pluck off that bad plant, and then you have to again level the land, soil, and cultivate a new crop in that. The same is with your mind. Every time you had a negative experience, you have to go back. Suppose, let us say that you became angry with someone today. So when you became angry, you need to understand that there is a negative thought process about him in my mind. You looked into some negative quality of that person and you lodged it in your mind. Now you need to take it off. You need to convert it into a positive one. For that, you need to analyze a bit. Okay, because who is a perfect human being on this earth? You cannot say that anyone is perfect on this earth. They will have some kind of challenge or the other. Everyone will have some kind of positive qualities on it. See, um, my wife is a very good woman, frankly saying. I can't take anyone else's example, so I'm taking it. But she behaves now and then in a silly manner, okay, which may not be good. And when I look at her from the age of 40, 42 years, when she does something like that, okay, it's not like acceptable. So I changed my perception and started thinking that if my children do this, I'm in a position to forgive them. Why not my wife? Because I'm thinking that for her age, she must be mature. But it doesn't make sense, right? Maturity does not come from age, okay? Maturity comes from having an opportunity to develop their knowledge. If she did not have an opportunity to develop her knowledge, she never gets mature. So we should be in a position to forgive her. So now I started thinking that in activities, okay, I need to forgive my wife also as I do with my children. Or in other sense, I don't have 3 children, I have 4. Even she's also my child in case of activities. So this kind of understanding and convincing the mind will change the perception. To make you understand, I can narrate a small incident, okay, from Mahabharata. After the war, so Pandavas ruled the country for almost 36 years. Then they hand over the kingdom to Janamejaya, and they won't leave the place. They started walking in the Himalayas. In the process, one by one, everyone started dying, and Dharmaraja was the only one okay who entered into heaven okay alive. But in the process, Dharmaraja had even a dog to walk with him. After going to heaven, he did not find his brothers, but he found Shekuni, Kauravas, Duryodhana. Everyone was there. They were happy. They were celebrating. He just did not understand. What is this? I led my life so fantastically. I never did anything negative. I did all good things and I was so positive in my life. But once I come here, I'm experiencing hell. I'm having all the Kauravas in front of me, but I don't find any of my brothers. So in the process, a guard comes and says that Indra is calling you. He wants to communicate with you. So he's not ready to go to Indra. He says that I want to first see Draupadi. I want to see my other brothers. So when the guard says first go to Indra, he wants to talk to you, then you can know. He says, I want to first see my people. So then he was taken into a dark arena wherein there were a lot of hues and cries of people. So it was pitch dark with a lot of pain, people screaming, okay, crying. So there he even found the sounds of Draupadi and his brothers shouting and all. He just did not understand, okay, why is this? Draupadi suffered a lot in her incarnation, okay, when she was alive, she was insulted, and his brothers were insulted, they struggled a lot in life, but still why these people are in hell? So now he wanted to go to Indra and started asking the same question. Now Indra said that, okay, what all has happened on earth has happened. You had a negative thought process about Kauravas. Because of negative thought process, you hated Kauravas. As you hated Kauravas, you started going with them, waging a war, doing a lot of things with them. You killed all of them. So you killed all of them, but still you have hatred towards Kauravas. And that is the reason why once you saw Kauravas, you were so disappointed and you got irritated thinking that why these bloody people are in heaven? They shouldn't be. So your thinking process came up in this way just because you have hatred towards Kauravas. So now Dharmaraja started understanding. And Indra said that take off that negative thought process from your mind. Then automatically you experience everything fantastically. Now Dharmaraja sat in meditation and slowly observed the thoughts what he had about Kauravas, and he removed all the negative thought process. And he said that okay, it was the act that has to be performed when they were alive. Now they are out. So he took off all that hatred towards Kauravas and he started loving them. So had lovable thoughts towards them and slowly opened his eyes and he could see his brothers and Draupadi there and no Kaurava was available. Probably if you can go through this question, this story Vijayashri carefully, you will understand that every action you perform, if it is negative, then you have to go into your mind and start taking out the negative thought within you. And if you're not taking out the negative thought within you, then this emotion repeats. You get this angry situation again and again, and you'll be talking negative about others. And in the process, you'll be creating a lot of issues within your life. So, to be positive, you should be conscious and you should not let any negative quality to reach within you. So you have to always look at the good things in people and take only positive memory with you. This is one thing. If you've already taken some negative memory within you, you have to focus on your actions. So every time your action is negative, realize that there is a negative thought process. See, it's like simple. If you see a bad plant in the soil, okay, then you pluck it out. But you don't know what plant is planted. Then what you have to do, you have to wait. Okay, what seed is planted in the soil, you don't know. Until and unless it sprouts out, you can never realize that. Once the plant comes up, okay, you can realize whether it is a positive plant or a negative plant. Then you can pluck it out. In a similar manner, your actions, your behavior will make you realize, okay, whether your thoughts are positive or negative. If you're happy and peaceful, good, you have all positive thoughts within you. But if you're not happy and peaceful, if you're in a negative emotional state, realize that, okay, you have negative thoughts within you. So when you take care of these two things, okay, then you will be having a positive outcome within you. Okay. And that kind of thinking is positive thinking. That's it. Okay. Thank you so much, Vijay, for your question. రాయుడు పరీక్ష రేపు ఉంది ఆందోళన ఉన్నప్పుడు చదవడం స్టాప్ చేయడం అనేది కరెక్ట్ ఆర్ రాంగ్? We don't need to have pressure about something. Okay, see, one thing you need to understand that every time you have an exam to face, you're not ready to accept what happens, okay, out of that examination. So let's say you don't want a negative outcome to be there from that exam. You somehow want to get through that exam, but you're not ready for accepting the reality. See, I'm delivering a presentation. I don't know whether you will love this presentation or not, whether you will accept this presentation or not, but I need to deliver my work sincerely. That's all. My work is complete. But definitely, I cannot insist that everyone must like my presentation. Everyone must appreciate my presentation. Everyone must feel that this is the best presentation. No, it's not like that. So when you're ready to accept what happens in your life the way it is happening, then you can be yourself, free from everything. But you're not ready to accept everything as it happens. And that is the reason why you have a lot of worry within you. So let whatever be the result tomorrow. See, one thing you need to understand is this. If there is someone who has worked more than you, if there is someone who has spent a lot of time laboring on the subject, empowering his knowledge, educating himself greatly, investing more hours of time, then he must be the one, okay, who should get more score and succeed in that. If you really have put your efforts to a greater extent, then the success is going to follow in your life. You need to understand this. Most of the people can't take it. They never realize that, okay, they get only what they deserve in life. It's not what they desire in life. If God starts giving everything what a person desires, okay, then I think nobody will have value for anything, okay. So God has created deservingness for everything. So once you attain the deservingness, okay, by improving yourself, by working hard, you get what you desire. Without developing your deserving ability, you can never demand for a deserving things. Without doing any kind of work, if I start asking God to give me a lot of things, He's not going to give anything. I have to work so much on things and develop myself, okay, so that I can get my desire. So get ready to accept, then you don't have any tension about it. Now you just play with the subject, refer, recollect, and put yourself in balance. And understand that what you've prepared right now is not going to make you succeed in the exam. Because how much ever you read, okay, you will not be getting even one question from all the content what you're reading right now. It's the overall subject, what you have developed from your childhood, okay, that's going to make you experience the exam fantastically. So all the question papers will be on the very fundamentals. If you're very clear with that, then you can write the exams. Only thing is, questions will be on the fundamentals, but they'll be touching in-depth knowledge of the fundamentals. So how much clarity you've got on the content, okay, that is going to make you succeed in the exam. And if you have really read the content in such a manner when you are clear about all the fundamentals, you are going to do fantastically. See, Only the truth wins always in life. We have to align with the truth. If you are not aligning with the truth, okay, then you can never win in anything in life. And the truth is this, okay, what we are doing, we should do it genuinely, we should do it correctly. That's it. Otherwise, we cannot create greatness out of it. Tulsi, good evening. Thanks for your question. What is the difference between assumptions and imagination? The word is not like assumption, okay? It must be anticipation. Anticipation and imagination. Anticipation is something like our mind starts thinking based on the memory what we've got. Our mind will be thinking about something or the other, that this is going to happen, this is how it's going to happen. If it happens like this will happen, that, this, and all. Okay. So let's say my daughter is traveling from Vizag. Last time when I was traveling from Vizag, I was the only one in the compartment. There was no one in the entire compartment, in second AC compartment. So my memory has this. Now my daughter is traveling in the same train, and when I was staying in the compartment, the office boys or the people who take care of the bread spreads, okay, all these people will be moving in the compartment. So my mind starts anticipating something negative about it. Like something is going to happen that might create some kind of trouble to my daughter, because we are launching a lot of unnecessary information into our mind. So this creates a lot of anticipation. So mind always starts looking at things in a negative manner and create some kind of unnecessary things. This is what anticipation is. Okay. Assumption is like coming to a conclusion which you are not clear about. See, someone asked you, okay, how to solve a problem. Probably you don't know the exact procedure of it. So now you assume it can be calculated like this. And based on assumption, okay, you'll try to create a solution. This is assumption. But anticipation is, see, for example, let us say a girl is going to get married. So generally, in all our memory aspects, right from our childhood, most of the people will be saying that, like once a girl goes into in-laws house, okay, mother-in-law and father-in-law will torture her, treat her badly, will make her work a lot. All the negative information will be passed into their head right from childhood. And in the process, okay, anticipation starts in mind. See, sometimes we will have bad experiences in business. We will have bitter experiences in the workplace. So critical situations in family, health challenges. So every time a negative thing happens in our life, automatically our mind starts anticipating the negative things. It's like if you're jumping from a mountain, so if your mind is not anticipating that we may die in the process, legs will be broken, most of the bones will be broken. If this anticipation is not there, okay, probably you can imagine yourself thinking that, okay, I'm going to fly in the air like a bird and I'll go to longer distances, I'll travel, okay, I'll land myself comfortably. This can be a positive imagination what you have. But the negative side of it is going to be common. So anticipation is a quality that is developed in everyone's mind, wherein first the mind will start projecting the negative content. Whatever it is, suppose you took a big target and you wanted to work on that target, first your mind starts anticipating all the negative things. So probably you have just decided about a goal. I can just say that previously you set a target like this, but it did not happen. You thought about things will be like this, but it did not happen. So all these things will come up, and that gives the mind to anticipate something negative and say that it's not going to happen. See, what is happening and what is not happening is not the criteria. But when you set big goals, we start doing a professional work. We start doing some greater work. We think sharp, okay, we act sharp, we behave sharp, we communicate greatly. See, just imagine, okay, you've got an opportunity to communicate with a beggar who sits on the road and begs for a change. You've got an opportunity to communicate with Narendra Modi. Will your communication and behavior be the same, okay, when it is with a beggar and Narendra Modi? Definitely not. When you go to meet Narendra Modi, the time what you get maybe only 2 minutes or 3 minutes. You want to be so effective with your communication that you practice what you want to speak for a lot of times. You note the points. Okay, you take a lot of work on that. So you get yourself prepared, make yourself comfortable, dress yourself fantastically, do everything greatly, and you want to grab the opportunity of that 2 3 minutes and project yourself so greatly that you prove your success in that particular aspect. See, when Bahubali was directed, Rajamouli, he happened to invest the biggest budget on that. So he had taken care of all the minute details. But probably there are many movies, okay, so that are being shot with a very little budget. It's like 20 lakhs or 30 lakhs, okay. I don't think that people care so much of that. So when Abdul Kalam wanted to empower this nation to a greater extent, okay, he was so committed because his dream was big. So when our targets are great, in turn our thinking is great, our communication is great, our behavior is great. So in order to drive that communication, because the more and more positive communication you make, more and more positive behavior, make that becomes a habit. That's inculcated within you. And slowly you will become a positive communicator, positive thinker, and positive behaving personality. But if your goals are small, if your aspirations are small, okay, just because when your mind anticipates something negative, that this may not happen, that may happen, it may insult you in this situation. Your ego may say that, okay, you may fail in this, and automatically it will point you out, you'll not be respected, you'll not be supported. All this anticipations comes in the mind, okay. But you have to take off all that anticipations aside. You have to imagine what you want and you have to work on it, okay. And you need to understand that anyone who is trying to do something positive. So, like when Arunima Sinha, after having a very bitter experience when she wanted to climb the Mount Everest, okay, do you think that her mind must have said that, okay, Arunima Sinha, you had a very bitter time, so you are going to have the best time now. You can climb Mount Everest happily, you will not have any challenges. No, there will be a lot of anticipations. There was a situation where she was going to die, wherein she did not have oxygen cylinder, and at the final moment, okay, someone who was a traveler and a space cylinder, was from England and supported her with that cylinder. At one point, okay, his hand started getting freezed, okay, where the blood started turning blue and she had to cut her hand, okay. She was about to, just then the weather changed and situation brought her into a comfortable control. So when Sven Swammer wanted to climb the Mount Everest, okay, and all the tallest peaks on this mountain, after suffering from cancer, getting one of his lung removed for the third time, okay, but still wanted to prove to the world that, okay, even after cancer, you can be a very positive personality. There must have been a lot of anticipations. Mind anticipates every big thing. Just because mind anticipates, most of the people don't dare to do big things in life. But if you don't dare to do big things in life, will you have a professional communication? Will you have a professional behavior? So if I did not dare to do some of the biggest programs in my life, like Youth Fest or a program with Malati Ola Madam, Parents Fest or Boom program and all, if I did not risk to do that, probably every program created a huge loss for me or a lot of investment for me, probably lakhs of rupees. If I had all that lakhs of rupees today, I could have been like a lot of properties I should have got and I should have been more rich today. But that richness is not important for me. I'm very happy because of taking that risks in life, I realized a lot of truths. I understood a lot of truths. I developed my communication to a greater extent. I understood how if I communicate, okay, I'm going to be the choice of many people. I developed my behavior. So anticipation will definitely happen when we are taking greater moves in life. But we have to take out that anticipation and you have to somehow think positively. A long time, the first time I used this word anticipation, unexpectedly I got this. There was a student by name Kavya who was studying in Sai College, and she was thinking about a lot of negative things in her mind. Okay, and she started saying that it may happen like this, it may happen like this. If it happens like that, what is going to happen with my life and all? Okay. Then I told her. Accidentally, the word came out of my mouth as anticipation. You are anticipating all this. See, most of the people imagine in their mind, that is, anticipate in their mind that this is going to happen, this is going to happen. And because of that, they suffer, they worry so much. But 99% of the things won't happen in their life. Then, and if it is happening, you have to take it. There is no alternate. Okay. See, you have to experience your father going with bypass surgery, and you had to undergo it. But definitely, undergoing that challenge, you've given a new life to your father. It's like making your father's heart young again, where it works wonderfully, and it'll take him on a positive zone. So, undergoing a risk, undergoing a challenge, if it has to be done, okay, we don't have any alternative. So sometimes we'll be having tough times and we have to face it and go on. Okay. But by anticipating, why should we suffer? So when we understand that our mind is thinking in a negative manner, imagining all kind of negative things, imagining all kind of negative things is anticipation. So you should imagine all good things happening in your life. So then automatically you can create the same thing. But most of the people don't convert their anticipations into positive imaginations. That is the reason why experience consistently negative things happening in their life. And when they experience negative things happening in their life, they start realizing that, okay, my life is like that, that's it. But that's not the way they have to. So based on the past memory, your mind thinks. Based on the circumstances that are going, your mind anticipates. So anticipation must be avoided, imagination must be developed. Hope you understood this. Thank you so much for your beautiful question, Tulsi. Fine. I have one last question from Nizam. Okay. Probably every time Nizam asks a question, he writes a lot of information. Good evening, Nizam, and thanks for your question. Knowledge is also a memory if you don't experience it. Even if you experience it, okay, it's a combination of maturity and memory. What's the point in accumulating or exploring knowledge if you don't implement it? Of course. See, there are two things which you need to understand, Nizam, okay? Every piece of knowledge need not be implemented in life. Okay? Most of the knowledge that we gain, a collection of facts and figures, is for enhancing our awareness about various things. So we studied geography, we started knowing what grasslands are there in different countries, what kind of forests are there, what kind of rivers are there, what is their area, all these things, okay. So this and all are not going to be implemented in our life, okay, but we need to have awareness about various things. We need to understand this. What is to be implemented in life is, like for example, we need to get logical thinking, greatness in thinking. So in order to get great in thinking, okay, we have to implement the concepts of physics and chemistry and mathematics. When it comes to physics, chemistry and mathematics, we need to implement the concepts. By implementing the concepts through a lot of questions, okay, we get expertise in our thinking. And we come to a stage wherein every problem is our most lovable thing. We want to create a solution for that problem. The people who love questions, okay, the people who love to solve questions in physics, chemistry, and mathematics, okay, they love to even solve questions in the real world. All the people who created solutions in the real world are the people who loved solving problems. But people who are not implementing the knowledge what they have developed from physics, chemistry, or mathematics, okay, when the concepts are not applied consistently, when they are not doing thousands of problems, so in the process they are not tuned to solve problems in life. they get frustrated. So the thing is, people always pray to God that they don't want to experience any problem in life. When they don't experience any problem in life, they never solve anything in life. When they never solve anything in life, they never discover anything in life. When they never discover anything in life, what is that they are going to do in future? Think once. So application of knowledge when it comes to life is mandatory. But in order to understand certain concepts, we need to come up with a lot of awareness about various things. For me to understand a few concepts, I must be developing a lot of awareness about various things. Once I have a lot of awareness about various things, I understand these concepts clearly. So now you understood your this much part, okay? If universe is the experiencer, then why are we retrieving in memories rather than creating new ones each time? See, the universe is the experiencer, or universe is the one who's making you experience, okay? But all these challenges come because you live in a society and you have certain responsibilities. Just imagine Nizam, okay? You are just in a forest, okay? You don't have any restrictions wherein you don't need to get a job, you don't need to earn money, you don't need to respect people, you don't need to create an imagination of greatness in the minds of others, you don't need to impress people, you don't need to influence people, you don't need to develop any kind of skill. Nothing like that, okay? Where is the need for memory? Absolutely, you don't need any memory. But as you have a lot of responsibilities, let us say you want to earn some money. In order to earn some money, okay, you need to be skillful in English communication. Like you are good with English communication, but you want to be strong in the subject that is to be delivered to the students. In order to deliver that subject to the students, you need to have memory. Let's forget about delivering that subject to the students. Then what is the need for remembering all this content in your head? So if at all you don't have a choice of speaking in English, why should you ever remember even one word of English in your mind? We live in a society where we have certain norms to be fulfilled. We have some conditions to be followed. Now we need to put all this content in our memory and we have to act accordingly. If there's no need for that, okay. We don't need to earn any money. We don't need to influence anyone. We don't need to take care of anyone. We don't need to look into anything. See, I have a family, I have a wife, I have 3 children, I have my father to be taken care of. I have sisters. There will not be much what I do to my sisters, but if they have any challenges, I need to take care of it. I have a few friends, okay. I have some people who rely on me for creating a better career in their life. Now, these are all my responsibilities. In these responsible situations, okay, I must be very careful in taking decisions. I must be very careful about knowledge. I must be in a position to understand people. I must be in a position to know their emotions, know their thoughts, how they behave, what kind of statistics will come in. I must be ready with all kinds of solutions to delegate to them. If I don't have any kind of responsibility regarding this, let us presume that I'm totally free from all these responsibilities. Now you think carefully, okay, why should I have any kind of memory within me? What's the need for any memory? Absolutely, I don't need to write. So in that case, I don't need to think anything. I don't need to experience anything. So today, your experience will drive you a positive experience or a negative experience. It's just because of thinking. And in order to think, you need to have memory. So take care of delete this memory, then you don't have any thinking. When you don't have any thinking, you don't have any experience. Without any experience, what you have is the experience of joy or bliss within you. Your natural state is joy or bliss, but the joy or bliss is being disturbed with the thought and its experience. Indeed, we are thinking that the experience what you are getting by eating biryani, or the experience what you are getting by watching a movie, the experience what we are getting by relating with someone, by having an emotional things with somebody, we are going to have a better experience of life. But if we can take off this memory totally from our mind, no thought is going to come into our mind. We are not thinking about anything. We are not experiencing anything in that particular arena. Okay, you are going to celebrate bliss, you are going to celebrate joy, but we're not so lucky in that particular aspect because we're born with responsibilities. We live with responsibilities, and everyone dies with responsibilities because this is a man-made society. So the terms and conditions apply. So when terms and conditions apply in life, okay, these terms and conditions are created with the society. And when we have clean, it's like just like I'll tell you. Suppose you have bought a house in an apartment. Apartment will have some rules and regulations, and you need to follow that. You got an admission into your college, and college will have some rules and regulations. This kind of uniform, that kind of exams, this, that, and all, and you need to follow it. Just like that, you're living in a society where in society created certain norms. They said that you are of this religion and you must follow these traditions. So you're of this caste and you must be like this. And this is how you have to communicate. This is how you have to be. This is how a lot of restrictions you have in life. So because of all this, we need to have awareness about a lot of things. And we need to go with it. Probably take off all this. We don't need to have any memory. We don't need to have any thought. We don't need to have any experience also of life. Hope you got it, Nizam. Okay. Thank you so much, all of you, for your wonderful questions. Keep watching this. Thank you.